actually in my kitchen. Well, in my new kitchen where I'm baking something. One of my favorite snacks, Hostess powdered sugar donuts, specifically the ones in the big bag. Me and Zach, my husband, will bring these on road trips. Sometimes he gets me them for like special occasions, but I love them. I love them so much. So I was trying to find a recipe that is like a copycat recipe, and I think I found one, but I've never tried it before. I've also never made donuts before. These are baked, not fried, because one thing about me is I don't fry anything. It scares the crap out of me. I feel like if I were to light oil up on my stove, my whole house would combust. That's just what's in my brain. So we're gonna bake these and we're gonna test this recipe out. And if this recipe works, I will leave it in the description below. Possibly, maybe. We'll see. Okay, we're gonna start with the dry ingredient. Nope. We are gonna start with preheating the oven. Bake to 325. I 1 3/4 cup of flour. 1. This is all-purpose flour, by the way. 3/4 cup. 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. 1½ teaspoon of baking soda. 1½ of baking powder. Shoot. Okay, I can fix this. We'll just pretend that that never happened. Okay, so that's supposed to be baking powder and I put baking soda, so we're just gonna put a little dash extra flour because I took some out, and a little dash extra sugar. And I'm gonna say we've definitely done a teaspoon of baking soda, and now we need 1½ teaspoon of baking powder. 1½ teaspoon of baking powder. And then some salt. That calls for a ½ teaspoon of salt. And a tablespoon of cornstarch. And whisk together. Genuinely, I do like to bake. I love to bake. Some like new recipes do scare me if I can't watch it from beginning to end, like how they make it. But recipes that really scare me are the recipes that when they don't like show the texture of the final product. I love at the end of the video when they break open the muffin or they break open the cupcake or the donut and you see like what the actual texture is, or when they also bite into it and you can see if it's soft, if it crackles, if it's like good. Sometimes I just won't pick a recipe for that specific reason because I feel like they're trying to like deceive me. That like really it's super dry, but they're not gonna show the inside of it. Okay, that's done. Now for our wet ingredients. So it calls for melted butter and Greek yogurt. It calls for sour cream, but I didn't have sour cream, so I'm substituting for Greek yogurt. But it calls for the butter to be melted, and I'm assuming you don't want freezing Greek yogurt in here. So in this bowl, I melted together butter, yogurt, heavy cream, whole milk, and then I'm going to put in 2 eggs and a 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. 2 eggs. I think all donuts are my favorite, my all-time favorite sweet treat. I love them so much. I do love cookies though, and I do love a cookie ice cream sandwich. I'll say something controversial. I'll say it, and I'll be the one to say it, and I know no one agrees with this. My favorite donut is Dunkin' Donuts, the strawberry frosted. That is, I love strawberry frosted donuts. This is really not coming together. Coagulate. Now, I will say, obviously Krispy Kreme has the better glazed donut, but here's my problem. And if you're a voluminous eater, if you're a voluminous eater, If you'd rather eat in high volume rather than high calorie, you'd understand. My problem with Krispy Kreme is that it takes 2 seconds to eat it, and it's gone. Your whole moment that you build up for that sweet treat and you're so excited for it takes you 2 seconds and it's gone. Dunkin' Donuts, you know, they're thick, they're meaty.
Big meaty claws! What did you say, punk? Big meaty claws!
Takes you a minute to get through it, and it feels like a prolonged sweet treat. And again, specifically the strawberry sprinkled Dunkin' Donuts. Love them. This seems like I should have grabbed a bigger bowl is what it seems like. But I am taking out my neighbor's dog while they're not home, so I'm just taking out to the bathroom and everything. And yesterday was my first day doing this, and I walked inside, and I kid you not, I couldn't even find the dog. I was screaming for the dog's name. I thought it had like escaped before I even got there, so I was really worried. And I was also worried that it was dead. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna be the one to find it dead. So I was freaking out. As soon as I couldn't find it, all the worst things started to pop into my head, of course. And so I'm going around the house calling for it. And then finally it starts slowly walking down the stairs. And I was like, where was this dog? Then I realized, what if I was an intruder? What if I came there to completely rob their home? This is a big dog. Like anyone that saw this dog and didn't know it, you'd be scared. Couldn't find it. Then I get back to my house and I couldn't even make it to the front door and my dogs were screaming, barking. I didn't know that dogs existed that didn't bark if someone was even approaching the front door. Got this, full dry into wet. We'll fold the wet into the dry. And then we're gonna pipe it into this pan 3/4 full. I need a bag to pipe this into the pan. These bake for about 10 minutes, cool for 5, and then we remove them from the pan while they're still warm and put them in the powdered sugar. I need another bag for the powdered sugar. Wet into the dry and fold it in. Wait. Wet into the dry. And fold it in.
Oh, next step is to fold in the cheese.
What does that mean? What does fold in the cheese mean?
He folds it in.
For anyone that doesn't know, when a recipe says to fold, it usually means you don't want to add too much air into the batter. So a whisk, it has all these different holes, right? Theoretically, these are a bunch of holes. Every hole creates more air pockets into the batter. You're whipping in more air into the batter. That's why it's called a whisk. You're whisking in more air. I don't know if that's why it's called a whisk, but theoretically, these are a bunch of holes and you're whisking in a lot of air. When you use something like a spatula, there are no holes. The only hole you're making is when you are cutting into the batter. When a recipe says fold it in and you're thinking, what's the whole point of that? It's meaning that this batter does not want a whole bunch of air into it, whether that's gonna make it too dry, whatever it may be. You really do wanna pay attention to that stuff and not just not know what folded in means.
I cannot show you everything.
Okay, well, can you show me one thing?
We're gonna put it in this bag. This is the donut pan I have. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This smells like boxed yellow cake mix. Okay, that looks like enough to fill the donut holes. So let's go ahead and do that. These donuts look really small, so I'm just gonna do a smaller hole just so I don't overfill it. Okay. 3/4 full. Ready? I'll show you fast. Okay, that's all you get. While that's baking, I am going to put some powdered sugar into a Ziploc baggie because I am just gonna put the donut in here, shake it, and then put it to the side. I'm gonna quickly pick up just a little bit. Oh, I'll do a transition. Ready? And we're back, and all cleaned up. Actually, I don't know why I said I'm back. This still has 5 more minutes to go. So, let me take a video of what they look like so far. So you can kind of see they are rising. I hope I didn't fill them too much. Still have 4 minutes left, so I think they'll be okay. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's see what these look like. Whoa. Okay, they definitely resemble bagels. Don't judge them. Don't body shame them. But they should spring. Whoa. Okay. Those need a little longer, so I definitely overfilled them. Okay, so I definitely overfilled them, but when they come out, don't make them feel bad. You know, some of us are bigger boned, some of us are slimmer. And we just called the bigger boned ones bagels, and everyone loves some bagel with some cream cheese, so it's okay, okay? Let them be. Okay? Jeez Louise! Oh yeah, those are done. Here's what they look like! I want the heat of these to be what sticks the powdered sugar to the donut. We should do a test donut of what happens if I put it in right out of the oven. Let's pull it out. Okay, let's just do that with all of them. Okay, this actually is really fast if you just go like this. Put them in, turn them around a little bit, just use your hands, you know. This recipe says let them sit 4 to 6 hours before serving. That just won't happen. Here's the donuts. I'm gonna go ahead and bake off the rest, sugar the rest, then I'm gonna make myself a little cappuccino and we're gonna try it with some coffee because that's the way I like it. So that's the way, Okay, anyways, bye. We got the donut and I got a cappuccino. So I ended up filling the other ones a little bit less and they definitely came out looking a lot more like a donuts. Now I do understand that these are big and that the Hostess donuts are I think they call them like donuts because they're really small. So I understand there's a difference there. However, whatever, that's the pan I had. So we're gonna go ahead and bite into it and I will let you know how they are. I have already given 2 of them away. So hopefully they're good, or else I'm gonna have to text the people I just gave them to and say, do not eat those. So let's do it, and I'll get a mukbang shot for you. Wow, these are so good. I'll do another bite for you. Okay, this is the best angle I can get, but look, like when you push it, that's how moist it is, that it like all sticks together still, but it's very pillowy soft that, it still like flakes off. I will put the recipe in the description below for these donuts because they are incredible. Alright, well, thanks for watching my video. Any recipe that you want me to test out, let me know because I love to bake. And the nice thing is I just send the rest into work with Zach and I don't have to worry about all the extra calories sitting around the house. So let me know if you have any other things you want me to try out. This was delicious and bye.